What's up? I don't like this right here. That's what I'm gonna try to do right here. Here, let's see if we can fix this. What's up, guys? Hold on. I don't like this thing right here. Let me break it down a little bit. Hold on. What's up? All right. Can you guys hear me well? Hold on. Is the hearing good on this one? Let's wait a couple more minutes and we'll start once a few more people come in here. If you have any questions, load them up. Awesome. I'm glad that it sounds good. Oh, gosh, this was such a pain in the ass. I didn't have a computer, no internet. I had to go buy a camera. I had this kick-ass microphone, though. Oh, God, my back hurts. All right. Well, we'll start in like 30 seconds. It's cool. I can see the time now and all this kind of stuff. So, what's up? All right, we'll start in 15 seconds. I hope I get it uploaded when I'm done. We'll see. It's like my own mini studio in here. All right. I'd like to welcome everybody to the first ever mission update on YouTube. If you're new to this, if you're not watching it live and you watch this now, I was doing this all originally on Instagram, and then God told me I had to move it to YouTube. So we're gonna start doing mission updates on YouTube every single day, and we can do the live and all that kind of stuff. And then I'm also gonna be posting over the next week a series of videos kind of like explaining everything, right? The universe, how it works, the matrix, where we find ourselves, revelations. And I'll create a couple different videos because I think that as this starts to unfold and you need to explain this to people, these will be good references to go off of. I'm really good at explaining this stuff, hopefully. And it's hard to talk to people sometimes, and if you just want to shoot them a short 10, 15-minute video that I make on this subject or that subject, I'll be uploading those over the week. But expect a mission update every single day. And I'll try to do like, right now it's at 6:30, and I have to see what time is good for everybody because it's a little bit different now that I have to use a computer downstairs. But if you watch this on the comment section, leave a time that's good for you, and then I'll take everybody's time into consideration and when it's available and all that kind of stuff, and we'll move from there. All right, first part of the mission update with all the various angel armies. Now, I might be repetitive right now for first-time followers that haven't heard this, so bear with me. As you know, we are in a war of principalities, right, between angels and demons, and there's 4 different angel armies right now. There's the red, the blue, no, the red, the black, the purple, and the green. And each angel army goes after a different section of demons that possess the elite that run the world, right? So we have the purple angel army, and that is connected to the crown and everybody associated with the crown, countries and things like that nature. West Africa, countries around the Indian Ocean, North America with Canada and Alaska. And right now, the demons are doing everything they can to prop up the queen, right? So the queen is like a matriarchy within the demon hierarchy, right? Like the queen is extremely important, and England and the whole crown is just a stronghold for demonic activity. So right now they're doing everything possible to keep her alive by a thread, to make appearances, things of that nature. But one good thing about that is that all these demons are spending so much time trying to keep her alive. They're really putting their plan for everything else on the back. burners, right? So that's good right there. And it's only a matter of time. You have to understand these demons also, they control the media. And it's surprising how little gets out, right? So what they're telling us in the media is not true whatsoever, and that's for a lot of things. So just be careful with that. Also, believe it or not, the crown is directly associated with the Vatican, right? And when the Purple Army goes after the crown, they're also going after the Vatican. And if you look at the Vatican right now, they're under a bunch of scrutiny, scandals, and all this stuff's going to start percolating to the top. Next, we have the Green Angel Army. They are in charge of going after the demons that possess the people who run our entire economic system. And as you know, within like Revelations, we're going to see all these markets crash. And right now, these demons or whatever are trying to do whatever they can to prop up the market so they can have it crash when they want to. But right now, we have a bunch of undercover angels and light workers who are doing everything they can to knock up those props. And how do these undercover angels and light workers work? They were awake to their mission way before us, and they're put in key positions within like businesses and governments where they essentially like trick the demon into executing their plan faster than what they want to. And you can read about this kind of in the book of Enoch, where it talks about the angels coming down and killing the Nephilim. And essentially they just trick the Nephilim into taking out themselves. And it's kind of similar in how this war between angels and demons are working, especially within this 3D. Also, so I said something about Bitcoin. I love talking shit about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. We saw that cryptocurrency and Bitcoin lost like $200 to $300 billion in value, like any good currency would do, right? And then directly after that, you saw like the head finance minister in England talk about how Bitcoin was now posing a threat to like the entire economy. And this was really a play by the Fed, right? Because you got to understand that Bitcoin is not real at all for multiple reasons. And you can just start with, well, post-Matrix, there is going to be no Bitcoin, right? If Revelations is really going to happen and destroy the Matrix, you think it's going to leave the cell phone towers up and the satellites in space so we can have fucking internet? I don't think so. And it's not dependent on the central bank whatsoever. The only thing that gives Bitcoin value is the dollars in the respective country that one's willing to pay for that Bitcoin, right? So if the currencies fall, your Bitcoin is worthless, especially if currencies fall. How are you going to spend it? There's no supermarkets that really take Bitcoin. Nobody takes Bitcoin, really. I mean, the only thing that takes Bitcoin are little stupid gas stations trying to be cool with the little Bitcoin thing. I don't even know how it works. Not to mention, you still deal with the have and have-nots. Like if you're trying to transition into a new fair monetary system, that's not cryptocurrency. You still have the haves and the have-nots. You know, there's probably about 75, 80% of the entire world that doesn't have crypto. So you're going to have your elite with all the crypto, and then everybody needing to borrow money from your elites with all. It's bogus, right? It's just a facelift to this matrix, and then people are like, oh, it's the cycle. It's a bull market. Well, that's, you think the markets and the economy is fucking real. I mean, let's face it, you have big money, hedge funds, financial institutions that can make stocks go up and down, Bitcoin go up and down as they fit. We saw that with the GameStop operation, right? So who knows if this $200 million, this huge dip in Bitcoin was to trigger things within the entire market to make everything fall down. And market's going to fall down 100%. But this fall in cryptocurrency was definitely planned and on purpose. And it's, I think, leading to something bigger. So Bitcoin's stupid, XRP stupid, all that shit is stupid. And right now, I would take your money out of it. I know, like over the past month, I said you could make money off of Bitcoin right now. And you saw it rose and all that kind of stuff. But right now, you're really playing, I don't know, with fire, because I don't know how much it's going to dip, how much more it's going to dip. I mean, eventually, it's all going to be gone, right? So that's why I'd say, like, you really want to invest in beef jerky and Pop-Tarts. I'm not kidding, dude. You got nothing to fucking lose. That's serious. Take your money out. I'd say take whatever money you have out. Liquidate your entire portfolio, your 401k if you can. I'm not saying spend it, right? Because I have been wrong before. But I'd say, how's it going to hurt if your money's out for 2-3 weeks, right? It might not even be a lot, it might be a little, who knows? The last thing you want to do is not be prepared. Remember, the angels are giving us ample time to prepare for this, right? And right now is I'm just a messenger to relay. So like I said, we all have free will, right? But if you believe in revelations, if you believe revelations is happening, then your actions should represent that, should express that. And preparing for shit hit the fan is what you want to do. Now, the Black Angel Army. Usually the Black Angel Army goes after like the high-up cabal members, the World Economic Forum, Klaus Schwab, all those guys. Those are just also the face, right? There's so many people within the Illuminati and all that kind of shit that behind these guys that control these guys. But right now, the Black Army is really working with the sun and the earth right now to create natural disasters. Right now we are experiencing huge solar flares, right? And big solar, right? It was a M-class solar flare that hit the earth, or a solar flare bigger than M-class above, and that was the first marker that Michael told us. The second marker is going to be a direct CME that hits the earth again. And right now, the Black Angel Army is working on that. Also, they are creating, I think they're trying to take off Las Palmas right now, right? I think they're trying to end it because over the past 24 hours, there's been over 120 volcanoes. I mean, earthquakes have been going off at Las Palmas. And I don't think we worry about a tidal wave with Las Palmas because it all depends on how the volcano falls. I could be wrong, but I think so. If it falls slowly into water, then we don't have to worry about a tsunami. Now, I'm not saying tsunami is going to happen or this can cause a tsunami. One of the previous visions, one of the early visions, was a tsunami had happened. But a tsunami can happen and really take place anywhere there's like an earthquake at the, whatever they're called, fault lines or whatever. So like with all these CMEs coming, if they hit directly into water, they can cause earthquakes. So there's strong correlations between CMEs and earthquakes all around the world. And a number of these CMEs could create a tidal wave. So we'll see what happens there. Now, this is more of a 3D thing, how we can see stuff happen when it comes to the Red Army. And the Black Army is teaming up with the Red Army right now when it comes to this. And this is probably the most important part, or maybe the most tangible part that we can like see with our eyes, you know? The Angel War has been unleashed on the earth, right? And they're doing everything they can to speed up the time of this war that's about to go on, right? America is going to be invaded. And like I said, how does this work, right? We have undercover angels. We have undercover light workers that are in key positions within these cabinets. And they're kind of like, so you understand, like all these demons that run these countries are on the same team because they're demons, but they all have their own personal interests, right? So these undercover light workers or angels will kind of like try to play to their interests and what they want to do. So they'll execute it faster than they want to or whatever. And we're going to see that first with either Russia invading Ukraine or China invading Taiwan. Now, if that happens, get ready, right? Because then the West has to make a decision. Do we protect Ukraine? Do we protect Taiwan? We're going to have to protect Taiwan. And if we attack any of these countries, get ready for them to hit the U.S. and the West, right? Also, when that happens, a World War III is not going to happen. It's not going to last very long, right? Because we expressed a lot of these visions that we had. We already shared them with you. And if you want to see them, You can go on my Instagram page and it lays out like 12 scenarios, and there's more. But we're talking about like missiles, we're talking about fucking drone aircraft, tanks. I mean, so all out assault. And that's not going to last very long, right? So I think we're still on pace, right? And we just have to be patient, right? We have to understand that it's not going to play out exactly as we want it to or we think it's going to play out, right? I mean, one, we don't know. And two, like any war, things change, right? You might want to do this tactic, the enemy finds out about it. And trust me, this is a real fucking war between, it's crazy to think about it, but it's real like that. And there's like strategy that goes on and all that kind of stuff. So we just have to, have faith. And we'll see little confirmations as we go. Right now, you might see that I'm posting all these angels, and you guys are probably seeing these angels all over the place, and that's just confirmation, right? And they say, "Oh, it's a plane, it's a plane." Listen, I know it's not a fucking plane. I've been put in a trance 3 times by these things that prevented my car. What I'm saying is, these things are angels, and start paying attention. Start looking up in the sky. You're going to see them, and the reason we're seeing them right now is just for confirmation, right? If we're not necessarily seeing something really huge in the 3D, they don't want us to lose faith. And I know every time that I see them, I'm just like, fuck yeah, fucking angel. It's awesome. So, but one date, not that the date matters globally, because only the West, or even not just America, really celebrates Thanksgiving. But the angels are going to do everything they can to push for something when it comes to like the war, right? The Red Army by Thanksgiving. All right. Now, like, remember, ultimately these reptilians want the war to happen, but they kind of want it to coincide with the shortages that are going on, right? It's all orchestrated, and these angels are just trying to trick them into doing it earlier. So look for Thanksgiving. Also, with the Black Angel Army, a lot of these things that they're planning coincide with the blood moon this Thursday night. That's big. So we'll be able to see it. It's Thursday night, Friday morning, but whatever. That's cool. So that's pretty much the update. Now I'm going to go over some visions that were had. So remember, I posted about the 12 visions that went down. And, excuse me. However, this time we had fewer visions. And I'm going to go over 2 of them. And one symbolic. And I think, and we'll talk about that. And I think the other one's pretty spot on what's about to happen, right? So I'm going to go over the first one, which is symbolic. Now, remember, I told you that, like, our angels are going to protect us during this revelations, and they're going to appear to us, right? So when we have to escape a city or we have to do that, people are going to come to us. We're going to be angels and tell us exactly where we go, right? So there was this one vision where she was in this house, right? And there was a ton of people lined up, and everybody was shackled, and they were like hitting people with like irons, like branding them, right? I think it was with other starseeds. I could be wrong. And then all of a sudden, somebody comes up to her and puts her in another line and releases her shackles, right? And then it like progresses to like a door being open, and there's somebody in the field saying, come out here, follow me. And at that point, she's like, well, anything's better than getting fucked up. So then she follows this person outside, who's outside, right? And then she's in like this big grassy field, and all the light, go to the light. And in this grassy field, there was a fucking UFO that they ran onto, and there was like all this gunfire after them, and then they took off and they went off to their planet, right? So I'm not saying that this is going to happen exactly, but we are going to be put in tricky situations, right? Like, just because God is protecting us doesn't mean we can make a wrong turn, or we can make a mistake, or if we're in a bad situation, that don't lose hope ever, right? God will protect us. So just look out for that. And then the second vision, which I like the second vision. Actually, I don't like it, but it's pretty cool. So it takes place in a major city at a basketball game, and the basketball game's going on. And then there's this guy that has like this vial or something. And like in the middle of the rowers or whatever, he fucking smashes it, and then this like gas kind of goes places, and then everybody's walking around it. And then within, I believe it's a week, like the first wave of patients start going into the hospital, and they don't know what to do. And then by the end of the week, 1/3 of the entire population of that city is going to die. And that is biowarfare. And I think it was interesting. Like, listen, the person who has these dreams, what's funny about this is he knows absolutely nothing about sports, probably doesn't know that it's basketball season. But in the vision is basketball season. So, yeah, so I think that's cool. There's more visions to look at. And I posted something about this today, right? And it's like, now I think like we have the visions. And if you haven't seen the visions, watch them on my YouTube channel, right? And when you connect to source, right? Because we should connect to source every single time. And we should visualize what's about to come and what we're going to do, right? All great athletes, right? Before they play, they visualize winning. They visualize the stroke. And we're warriors, right? We're the greatest warriors, these universal warriors. And you're here in a war, right? So our performance is going to matter. And I think that connecting the source, meditating, praying, whatever you want to do, visualizing God working through you in possible scenarios can only help our performance, can only help us feel our powers more, and things of that nature. Warning to all star seats. And you might have run across people like this, but there are reptilian attacks that are happening to us right now of people pretending to be star seeds, right? So we have to watch out. And I experienced this, and many of you probably experienced this if you follow me. There was some guy that like came into my life or whatever. Didn't come into my life, but like say that like another guy. But like hit me up and was like talking to me, and then kind of like approached me a little off or whatever. I was like, whatever, he's just pumped on being, starseed. Like, I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. And then I saw him talking shit to like my followers on my Instagram page, like trying to argue with people. He actually started sending out like DMs saying like foul shit, pretending to be like this Christian and like saying that's a demon on him and all this kind of shit, dude. And I had people reach out to me. And like, I just had a terrible experience with this guy. I just had a terrible experience. And I felt bad because like I uploaded the picture of him like doing that thing with the cup. And then then he pissed off the wrong person who could actually find out about shit like this. And this guy was a total fake, and he was sending demonic attacks on me and my followers and things of that nature. And this is going to happen. We can't trust everybody, unfortunately. So if you see someone trying to create like division, if you see someone trying to create chaos or like reaches out to you with like, because listen, dude, if you're connected to the source right now, if you're following your ascension plan, you're not really arguing with people at this point, right? Because you're under at least if you follow me, right? You're privy to like information, right? So there's really nothing to argue about anymore. So if someone's arguing with you, or like just know what that is and ask me, I'll check, right? Like I said, we can check in on any of this stuff, whether it's a demonic attack. And if you are suffering a demonic attack, we can, I know some powerful people, and we can, as well as listen, you're powerful too. But if you want some extra help, I can get some people on it where they can pray the demons away from you and out of you. And then it's up to you if you invite them back in, right? So it's important, like every day we wake up, like rebuke them, right? Just say, get the fuck away from me, because they're all around us, dude. This is a spiritual war, and they're trying to fucking, trying to fuck with us, dude. I knew something was up about that guy. I knew it. And like I said, so I think when it comes to our powers over the next week or 2 weeks, I think it should be a lot of visualization stuff, and stop worrying about seeing it manifest on the 3D. Because remember, we can be tricked by demons when they give us like kind of like fake powers, or not ultimate powers. So we think that their powers are given us by God, or God's working through us. But that's really just a demon attack, right? So we keep on inviting it in, because we think we have these powers. So I would say just for like protection, dude, like trust me, your powers are gonna come when they're gonna come, right? I can't even begin to tell you how crazy it's gonna get, but we're really close to there, but we're just not there. So when it comes to like executing your powers and things of that nature, stuff like that, I would say visualize a lot of it and stick to the healing through praying, right? Pray for people. Yeah, so I just like be careful about that. There's a bunch of so what else do I have here? I got to use notes now that I can do this. If there's any questions, feel free to ask questions. I got this cool little question thing on it. Oh no, we're over here. Oh, dude, did you see the fucking biblical shit that's been going on? And I think it was Australia, or at least the picture said Australia, who took it, about like there's 50 million cannibal crabs that fucking started taking over. And I think it's also in Iran, I want to say, where there's like these crazy sandstorms and it brought on these fucking scorpions and shit. Dude, that shit's real. That's all like this biblical shit that's happening right now. Also, dude, how crazy is that so remember what happened last time, and I'm saying this for new people, like about 10 days ago or 15 days ago now, I guess you said, when the fog came in, the lights went out at the ports and all that stuff, right? And I found out what happened, and it turned out to be true. And then 2 days ago, I saw a big, huge fog bank coming in, and I made a video saying, last time the fog came in, the lights went out, and some shenanigans happened. And what do you know? The fucking lights went out again. And this is the port. This is probably the largest port in America, but it's huge for all sorts of economies. So that's a big deal. And listen, I think, so I'm not going to say that I know this for everybody, right? But when it comes to censorship and Instagram, I think that, and this is just my idea, right, is if you got censored, if you got locked out of your account, it was divinely locked out. And let me tell you what I mean, right? So right now, if we are fulfilling our mission, right, we are talking about ascension right now. We are talking about God. We have everything to do with revelations, right? And when you start focusing on 3D things like the COVID virus or just conspiracies, like we're past the conspiracy part, right? This is the divine stopping you from doing that, right? And focusing on ascension. It's also going to be cutting out, because like the stuff you're talking about now and doing now, in the past, and maybe in your old Instagram account, you have a lot of people that follow you from your old life that are just trying to cause problems and all that kind of stuff. This is protecting you from your old life, right? And this is exactly what happened to me, dude. Like in March, I want to say it was, or June, sometime this summer, my account got shut down. I had to start a new one. And guess what happened? You know, the only people who follow me now are Starseeds. All of them. How do they connect? How do they send me messages for the collective? Through the followers. And like I said, if you are following me, chances are that's you. That's just my opinion. And it could be about it, because if you're posting about conspiracies, if you're posting about COVID or the government, you shouldn't be, right? Oh, but this is only if you believe that we're in Revelations, right? Everything you post about should be Revelations centered. And I promise you, you won't be censored. I promise you, dude. You know which truth I've spoken ever since I switched over? So much truth, but I don't get censored, right? And trust me, I wasn't speaking about ascension the entire time, right? But I was evolving. And if you could look at my Instagram from like 4 or 5 months ago, dude, it's amazing, from the memes, the videos, whatever, just the subject, as I evolved, as I realized I was wrong, and I evolved past that psyop, and past that psyop, and the psyop, and they communicated to me. So chances are, right? And who cares about your old Instagram account? Whose mind are you trying to convince, even at this point? And if you're being shadow banned, even more of a reason not to care. See, I think it's shadow banning us from making problems for us, right? It's the same star seeds that see your post every single time. And censorship, I'll make a post that gets 5,000 views. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I think we should look at it that way. And chances are, if you follow me, that's what's happening with you, right? And don't worry about it. Also, I'll end it with this. And I think this is very important, right? So everything we experience our entire life, the good and the bad, made us who we are today, right? And I'm not saying the bad was fun. In fact, it can be downright painful and leave tons of emotional baggage, right? However, if we can heal ourselves and move past it, right, we can appreciate it for who it made us, who we are today, right? And generally, when you have a bad experience, it makes you more compassionate. And that's exactly what you need for this job. Now, recently, at least for me, and many of you, right, we've had a lot of problems with our friends and our families, right? They weren't vibing with us. We weren't speaking two different languages. They called us crazy. They called me crazy. And I just separated from them, right? I literally detached from my life, and at a very early stage, and it hurt me. I can't tell you, all my friends turned on me, my family turned on me, and it was, dude, I want to cry, dude. It sucked, especially in the very beginning when I thought I was going crazy, right? Like I thought I was going, and there was no one there for me, except for you guys, you star seeds, and I thank you very much. But I quickly realized that there was something about our mission that was going to require us to be free of these outside negative influences at the time, right? And I have a best friend, right? And he's more like a brother to me because I don't have a brother. So he's my brother. I refer to him as my brother. And he really hurt me. He really hurt me at the time, right? And I like I said, I stopped talking to him. I created my boundaries. And he hit me up. But he's always, dude, like family, I'll always love him, right? I always knew, like, this is only a period of time because either I'm right or they're right. And he hit me up the other day with a text message saying, hey, dude, you're like my brother. I always love you, this and that. Because we haven't been talking, right? And I go, what am I going to respond to this guy, right? Because in the past, right, what he did to me, it hurt me. It killed me. I mean, this is like my brother, right? But what I realized is, look where I am today, right? Look how much I evolved. I needed to be separated. You needed to be separated, right? So I responded, was like, dude, we're all good. Truthfully, it was on me. I needed to take this time for the spiritual journey that I went on. And I love to get lunch with you this weekend. And that's the truth. That's the honest to God truth. I don't hold any resentment towards him anymore. And if we're in the business to help saving souls, right, we have to understand that our friends that turn on us, our family that turn on us, they didn't do, for the most part, they didn't do that their whole life, right? At least for me. And they were very vital in helping protect me, in raising me, in installing like the morals, and I love them to death, right? And I'm wanting to do everything possible to restore my relationship. No, you don't have to force it. I'm not saying you have to force it if you're really like just like beefing with someone. Hey, listen, you're not. But like, there are some perks to knowing a starseed, and there's perks to knowing you, right? Like, you can give extra attention to these people to make sure they're right with God before Revelations happens, or the end of times, or the book of Enoch. Because chances are, well, a great chance, their 3D avatars are going to die, right? 7/8 of humanity's 3D avatars are going to die. But what do we want? We want them to turn towards God, right? So they go up to the waiting area, Abraham's bosom with everybody else, until new earth is built or heaven is reopened. And they can go in their life, right? So I'm not mad at my friends anymore. Looking back on it, I grew so much as a person, and I know you guys all did too, that I needed that time away from them. Now, there's some friends I'm not gonna go hit up all my friends and be like, blah blah blah. No, right? Like, but there are a close group of friends of mine that raised me. Some of my best friends. But I'll start reaching out to, saying what's up, or if they reach out to me, because a lot of them, well, him in particular, because my brother would reach out to me occasionally, and I wouldn't respond. At the time, I was hurt, but I'm over it. I understand that trauma, right, that I received when all my friends turned on me actually made me a better person. Look where I am today versus look where I am in February. You know what I'm saying? I was half dead in February. So, yeah, dude, hermit mode's cool, dude. Why not? I think all of you should be on hermit mode, dude. Like, there's nothing left to do now but to wait and get right with God. Spiritually, get your body right physically. And that's all we should be doing, right? There's no reason to be, we should be buying beef jerky. And like I said, like I'm also like, I'm done arguing with people. Even when people follow me. I'm done. Like I said, at this point, I'm just a messenger. We all have free will, right? You can listen or you cannot listen. I'm not saying that I'm right about everything. A lot of times I speak my opinion, but when I'm doing these mission updates that are going on, right, this is coming straight from the top. And either I'm batshit crazy or I'm right about this stuff. I'm not, like I said, I'm not saying don't question God, because I question God all the time. And trust me, there's a lot of thinking that goes into what I relay. I ask about certain things, we get answers back, and it's crazy how God's answers, they just all make sense, right? So, yeah. Any other questions? I think we summed it up. So, in the comments, leave what time lives are good for you. I'm going to try to accommodate as many people as possible. And stay shiny.